Hey all, how's it going? It is Lawrence from Express Unity here, and today what we're going to be working on is our leaderboard system. Not really a system, I'm more going to show you how it can be implemented. We're not going to be adding any kind of UI into this. So what I'm going to show you is just the basic functions on how we can add user statistics to a Playfab leaderboard and how we can retrieve a leaderboard. The reason why I'm not doing it fully is because with this whole game that I've currently been making for the channel, it's kind of been split up. Like sometimes I'd be working on this project, sometimes I'd be working on other projects. So I think it's starting to get a bit too confusing for people as to what episode is what. So what I'm thinking about doing is restarting the Playfab and Photon series, but fast tracking it a little, and we'll do something different. So instead of like a cube game, we'll try doing a first-person shooter of some kind. So one of you guys actually using my tutorials they're using my tutorials and another to like implement their own like first-person spin to it. So I thought that was pretty cool, and we'll probably restart the series doing that as well, because I think we've done enough with this little game. The plan for it was kind of a death run sort of thing, but I think it's a little bit too simple, and yeah, just the way I've planned it out. Well, I mean, that's the thing, I didn't really plan it out all that well. So the next ones I want to do, I want to try and plan carefully. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to quickly log into my Playfab account. Sorry, I forgot to do that before starting this video. Okay. So if we go over to Playfab and Leaderboards, I honestly can't remember when I did this leaderboard here, or if I even ended up, I think maybe I was testing it a while back, but never got around to actually making a video for it. Anyway, so I'm gonna just make a new leaderboard. Statistic name, I'm gonna call it wins. Reset frequency, let's do weekly, and always update with the new value. I mean, you can change this to whatever. I'm just, yeah, always update with the new value. Save leaderboard. And so now this is the new leaderboard. Whenever there's a player actually registered here, it'll add to the list. So I'm gonna go inside the Playfab auth script. Alright, so just thinking here. So we're gonna make two functions. It's gonna be public. So public void get wins. And then another one, public void set wins. So the first thing that we want to have inside here is our Playfab Playfab client API dot get leaderboard, and this takes in a get leaderboard request. So get leaderboard request, we'll call it request equals new get leaderboard request. Now we need to set a few things here. So request dot, first thing we want to set is our max results count. So this is how many results it'll fetch back for us. In my case, I only want to display the top 10 users with the highest wins. And the last thing we want to set is our statistics name. And this is the actual leaderboard that it's getting the data from. So in this case, it's going to be wins. Excuse me. Alright, so Now that we have that, we want to pass in request. We want to get our result callback. And we want to get our error callback. Just like everything else with the Playfab, super easy. Alright, so... Actually, let me just quickly see what this returns. Leaderboard returns a list of player leaderboard entries. So let me just see what that contains. Player leaderboard entry E dot. So it has display name, the specific display name of the user for this leaderboard entry. So start value, specific value of the statistic. Alright, we can work with that. I think what I'm going to do actually is player leaderboard entry, and oh sorry, that's not what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna make the type a list of the leaderboard entry, and then over here I'm going to return the result dot leaderboard. Not gonna work. What's happening here? Function converted to void. Delegate, not return a value. Okay. Alright. We won't do that. I was gonna try and make it easier where we could, maybe we can actually. Let's see. What if we do, what if we make a list out here called player leaderboard entry, and I'll call it temp equals new list, and with this temp I'm going to make it equal to result dot leaderboard, and then down here I'm going to return temp. Okay, that works. Awesome. So basically what we're going to do is when we call get wins, it's going to return the statistics of everyone inside wins. It's going to return the player leaderboard entry. If it results in an error, I'm just going to return null. I think that should work. Yeah, no? Okay. Let's do something like this then. Let's say if temp dot count is less than 1, then we want to return null. Basically what that should do is return null if this array contains nothing. So that should be good for our get wins. So now for our set wins, this is actually something I have not done in Playfab before, so excuse me if there are a little more errors than usual. But I believe we need to call Playfab client dot set dot update player statistics. This has update player statistics request, so update player statistics request. I'm gonna call it request equal to new update player statistics request. And then inside this request, we have the statistic name. In this case, it's going to be wins. And then, oh, hold on. Let me just read that. Statistics to be updated with the provided values. Oh, okay. The statistic update. Okay, so we'll try this. Statistic update SU equals new statistic update. So let me just see what this contains. su.statistic name. Okay, here we go. So this is gonna equal wins. And su.value. And let's see, statistics value for player. We might need to just trying to see. What we might need to do is actually make another call. Alright, so we'll do this for now. So we're gonna just make a int, we'll call it value. And then this is going to be... Can we do plus equals value? Is that gonna get the current value? I don't know. I've never done that before. Because technically this should hold the current value of the statistic, should it not? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see what happens. Okay, so now we can do request.statistic equals su. No? What does it want? Statistics to be updated with the provided values. Oh, it's a list. Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna create a new list of statistic update, and I'm just gonna call it list update equals new list update, and then down here, all I'm gonna say is list update.add, and we want to add the current statistic. And now what we want to do. Oh yeah, we've got it here. The request.statistic is now going to be equal to list update. Alright, there we are. So now we want to pass our request, we want to get our result callback, and we want to get our error callback. And we don't really need to do anything here because, well, because all it's doing is it's setting the data, so we don't need to return anything. We could just do like a simple debug.log and say sorry, just thinking. Yeah, we could just say wins have been set. Okay, so I think that should be it. So we have our get wins, we have our set wins. Now what I'm going to do is, in the player we have the do we have it in the player? Yeah, end. Okay, so we don't. Do we have the modify manager here? We do. Okay, so let's do something like mp dot mp dot. Does this actually have the play? No, it doesn't. So let's just say game object dot get component, and then we'll get the playfab auth. Oh, actually, do I have different objects for this? Oh, I do. Thought it was all in the same thing. Alright, in that case, I'm just going... Oh, do I have a tag for it? I don't. Okay, so let's give the Playfab auth manager, or Playfab manager rather, a tag. We're just going to give it a tag of Playfab. Alright, now let's create a new private Playfab auth, and I'm just gonna call it p-auth, and then in the start we want to say p-auth equals game object dot find object with tag, and we want to find the Playfab object with the tag, and then we want to get component at Playfab auth, like so. And I might actually move this to is mine, because no one else really needs to know if you have this assigned or not, because no one else is accessing it. So now in the end, what we can say is p-auth dot set wins, and let's just set wins to 1. So that should be it. So for testing purposes, I'm just going to move the wins cube closer once it's compiled. Alright, disable this player, grab the win goal over here and just drag it there. And that should be it. Should be able to just build and run. And hopefully when we hit this, our wins will increase on the leaderboard. So we should be able to see that. So we'll just open up 2 clients. And let's see if I can remember my test accounts for this. Alright. No, this. Yes, it was. Alright, trying to create. Ooh, I accidentally clicked the other button. That's not really fun. Alright, let's start that again. I want to go join or create on this one. So I think this one was test, right? Alright, join or create. The whole timer thing is starting up. So we have over here test, over here test 1, 2, 3. So we'll try collating once with test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3 has won the race. If we go here, praying it is updated. No. Okay. Interesting. I do set wins, right? I do. Set wins with the value of whatever is there. Or is it... Because this is updating a statistic. I think this is updating a statistic for something that's not actually there. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. Like I said, I haven't done this before. So let me just see if we have something that adds a statistic first. So, I don't know. The add... player statistic. Thing. Let me just see if there's something else. Oh, actually, you know what it could also be? So we'll just give that a save. In Unity, we actually ended up having this. Let's, yeah. So get play statistic isn't actually being called. So if we enable get play statistics, what's this? That shouldn't matter. I think that's all. That's all we needed. If we just run this in Unity really quick. And now once we log in, this field should be populated with our statistics, if I'm not mistaken. It might actually, I think it's because we don't have any statistic at the moment. But now that we get the statistics, we should be able to set. So let's try it again. And just, while that's doing that, I'm just going to quickly look at the Playfab docs to make sure I'm actually doing it right. Like I said, haven't done it before. There is nothing wrong with using documentation when you're making a game. So if you think you're doing something wrong, always look at documentation. No one is gonna judge, everyone looks at documentation. Alright, so if we join a create, this time we'll just use test. So hit that, test as 1. Reload. Interesting. Okay, this might be the problem. So over here we have enable API functions. This is in settings, API features. We have allow client to add virtual currency, and then subtract, and then allow client to post player statistics. Again, I'm only showing you like the very simplest way of doing things, really. When you do add virtual currency, subtract, or post player statistics, you want to use some kind of automated script. I haven't used the cloud scripting service yet with Playfab. Just as I was about to, I ended up just getting the new job. So yeah, it's been pretty hard to try and learn it. But let's try that. Now that we have that enabled, we might be able to get something happening. So let's see, let's give it a test. So if we build and run, so we'll play. Gonna create. Okay. Hoping that this works. Alright. Yay. Oh, sorry, I didn't move screen. Okay, so now we actually have an entry here. So in the leaderboard, we now have a player. If we click on a player, it's test 123 that has been added. And test 123 that is 1. And if we go to statistics, wins with a value of 1. How good's that? So if we go ahead and disconnect from both, let's try this again. I can't remember what accounts I've logged into. Have I just logged into both test 1, 2, 3? Hopefully not. Okay, so let's do it again. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3 has won the race. Hopefully, so real quick, let's go back to the leaderboard. Wins. We still have this statistic. We get a player and go to where was it? Statistics. Okay, it's still a value of 1. So this is where this is where a little more coding is going to come into play. And let's see, how long is the video going for? Alright, it's actually gone for like 30 minutes. So I won't do any more in this video, but what would need to be done to do this correctly and actually increment the values is not actually doing plus equals, because that clearly doesn't work. What you want to do, right, is so playfab client API dot get user get character statistics. Really quick, I'm just gonna go ahead and look at what it's called. Get player statistics. So we'll try that. So get player statistics. Okay. So this is gonna require a get player statistics request. So get player statistics request. Gonna call it request equals new get player statistics request. Now inside this request, it's gonna want a statistics name. In this case, all you want is wins. And I mean, I'm doing this right. Oops, sorry, I've done this the wrong way. You want to make it equal to wins. I'm doing this anyway. We may as well quickly pump it out. Oh, hold on, that's names. Statistics to return current. What is it? A list of strings. Okay, so list string. Gonna call it names equal to new list string. And we just want to do names dot add, and we are just for now only have one statistics to return, and that's wins. And so now this is going to equal names. Awesome. And so now we want to do request, and then we want to get our result callback and our error callback. Now, this result should give us the statistics, and cause it's only one statistic, right? We only get one. In this instance, we could just pass in 0, because that's gonna be it, and we're gonna pass in value. So I'm gonna actually create a new string temp, and I'm just gonna have it empty for now. But then over here, I'm gonna make temp equal to the value. What's going on here? Oh yeah, it's the value. Sorry. So this is it's gonna actually be an int, not a string. I got confused with the string from above. So just equals 0. Solves that. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of rename this. Okay, it's gonna rename everything. So I'm gonna actually rename this request to find request. Or you could name it to get request, but oh well. Okay, and then for the value, all we need to do is say temp plus value. And that should increment our set wins every time. Man, I said I wasn't going to do this, but it was actually super simple that I ended up doing it anyway. Anyway, so we'll quickly build this, and hopefully that works. So build and run. say this and run another instance. So let's log in with test, and then let's log in with test 1, 2, 3. Join or create. Join or create. So this time, let's try it with just the test client. So if we go here, test as 1, and if we go to leaderboards and wins, we now have 2 players. This might be the new one. Yeah, test. So statistics, the value is 1. Let's try this again. Disconnect, disconnect. Test, test 1, 2, 3. Log in. Test 1, 2, 3. Join or create. Alright, so now when we hit that win position with just a test account, we should increment. So I just want to see if anything's changed in the leaderboard. Okay, so we go here. It still says value is 1 there, but hopefully it's changed. It hasn't. Interesting. We have this. Excuse me. New string. Add that. It is wins. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's debug.log. Let's do log error. And actually let's do log error down here, so that we can actually return the error dot error message. Alright, so let's try that again. Let's close all of these. Wait for it to compile. Build and run. Alrighty. So test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Gonna create. Gonna create. So the test, we'll try it now. Oh, actually, I should have connected with Unity because that had the error. But just really quick, let's see if it's updated. And it hasn't. I might have an idea. Let's so in the code, instead of doing temp plus values, let's go ahead and let's do up here, let's say values plus equal temp. Can't do that. That's called value, my bad. The value plus equal temp, and then we'll just pass in the value again down here. Let's try that. Save, wait for it to compile. Build and run. And this time I will launch it inside of Unity so that we actually get that error, if there is an error. The test. Gonna create. Test 1, 2, 3. Gonna create. So now hopefully... Alright, so we don't actually get an error, so there's nothing wrong with what was happening. Let's go ahead and see if this is updated now. It's so weird. Yeah, that's not what we want. Wins. Yeah, because it's only ever changing to 1. Well, this is going to be a longer episode than I originally thought. Let's see, so... Yeah, play statistics. Let's do this. So let's make a for each of result flow. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this the wrong way. Of int. We'll just say I. In result dot statistics. Wait, what is this? Statistic value. So statistic value. And let's just debug.log warning, and we'll say value plus I dot value. So we'll see what happens, and we'll just try that. We'll try debugging that. Wait for it to compile. Alrighty. Go inside of Unity. Right, join create. And let's see what happens with the logs. It's spamming a whole heap. That's probably not good for anyone. What's happening? The only reason this wouldn't display an error is because there is nothing it's getting. No statistics that it's actually getting. That's interesting. Why would it not? So the keys wins. Let's go and super odd. But then again, if let me see, what else do we have here? This value and statistic name. we'll go for value. I'm gonna try something else. Let's do get character. If I can actually spell character statistic. Request. I'm just gonna call it re. Alright, let's see what we got here. No, that's not what we want. So I think this is currently... Oh, actually, you know what could be happening? This request could be taking a while and it skips to this one down here. So what we need to do is actually put that entire thing inside of the get player statistic request. And now we're just going to call this result true. And I think that might actually do it. Because now it'll wait for it to actually get a result. And then that result will equal temp. And then temp is plus equal by value. And then the value is set. And then we update the player statistic. Right. Alright, let's give that a shot. Hoping this works. Build and run. I'll probably just end up fast forwarding most of this in the video. So that you guys don't need to watch me really figure out all that much. I already had one running, didn't I? We'll build that again. Is it building? What is it doing? Come on, build. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna just move that to my second screen this time. And I'm gonna log in with S23 on the second screen. Alrighty, so hopefully I removed the debug, I can't remember. Alright, anyway, let's see if this has actually worked. It has! Oh yeah! So let's disconnect both clients and try that again. If it jumps, if the statistic jumps up to a 3, that's great. Gonna create. This is 1. Now if we go back here, reload, statistics has jumped to a 3. And if we go to leaderboards and wins, we have our current player with the highest wins being at the top and the other player with the lowest wins being at the bottom. So that's basically it, guys. Yeah, it took a little longer to figure out, again, yet another basic error. So yeah, just do make sure that the whole update player statistics is within the get player statistics, because what was happening is this was being this has been called first, sorry, and then this was called second. However, I don't think this has actually returned the result yet. And therefore this always was setting by the original value, which is 0, and it was passing by 0, so nothing was changing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, really helps me out a heap, and I will see